Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another week. Nice to see everybody in the chat as always. I saw Petra said hello from Beaverton. Does that mean you're in town? That's fun. Yeah, welcome to another week of chatting about live streaming and whatever comes up in the chat. It's always a good time. If you do have a question, please start your message with the letter Q. It filters it into a little questions column on my screen here. It makes it a bit easier for me to see. Otherwise, we're going to just kick things off. Oh, and starting off strong with a super chat from Matt. Thank you. Happy Easter, Aaron Lilly, and the whole members Discord server group. Well, thanks a bunch. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's Easter. I forgot. Andre says happy Easter, everyone. I have nothing planned. Nothing planned for Easter. I should have worn bunny ears or something. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Zoe, the reluctant marketer says ZoeBox has new firmware that allows us to start an SRT server in listener mode. My ATEM mini extreme ISO can talk to it, but the ZoeBox does not recognize the stream. Any thoughts? Interesting. There's not a lot you can do if it's not recognizing it, but it's got to be something about the codec that it's sending. I haven't tried that. I haven't updated mine in a while. I should do that. I wonder where they went. A couple of them. I do have one here. Oh yeah, I left one in the rack that I can turn on with PoE. So maybe we can do that. I don't want to just like dive right in, but maybe I should just dive right in. Before we do that, a couple of things I did want to get to today. I got a nice care package from NX3D with a couple of new things. We've got they just finished doing the stand for the Director One, so I haven't actually taken it out of the box yet, so we can assemble that. We do have the Director One up here. It's the slightly bigger version of the Director Mini. The reason I haven't been using this one on like at NAB or when I've been out is, one, I don't have a stand for it, but also it isn't running the beta. There's a 3.1 beta that I have installed on the Director Mini, which is not out yet, but I've been running the beta to try to see what I can do with it. But yeah, as soon as that comes out to the Director One, I'll probably be using that more often. The bigger screen is pretty nice, and the built-in HDMI is pretty nice. Yeah, also from NX3D, they sent over coaster. They got some new printing tech in their shop, so they can do custom printed coasters now, as well as a insulated cup. That's kind of cute. Yeah. City 11 Live says, any big takeaways from this year's NAB? So I did a pretty thorough recap of everything last week on the stream. I haven't turned it into a video yet, so it's kind of, you have to kind of scroll through the live stream to find the recap. But it is full of B-roll, so it's easy to spot if you're just scrubbing through the timeline. But yeah, go watch last week's stream to catch up on all the NAB updates, because I can't even remember everything anymore. I was only there for a day, so I barely got to see anything, unfortunately. Nils says, I'd welcome a Taekwondo critique of the studio. That'd be kind of fun. Definitely small, crowded space in here, and it's pretty messy right now, as usual. One of these days, it's going to get cleaned up in here. This is like most of the mess is not visible at this angle. You can kind of see my other desk poking through there, and thankfully, it's only the clean spot of that desk. Matt says, big news. Finally, my YoloBox Ultra is working as it should have on day one. New firmware 2.9 that completed everything on my list. Oh, that's awesome. That is great to hear. I also haven't updated that in a while, so I haven't even seen that. That's great. Yeah, well, let me build this stand while we're here because then I can get the Director One out on the desk properly. But if you do have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on that as we go. This little thank you card. All the socials. Although I'm not really on Twitter anymore. Also, I think officially their logo is not a bird anymore. Cool, little assembly instructions. It shouldn't be that hard. It's only, I think, 2 screws. Oh, right, if you want the handle as well. And it has a wire manager. Cool, okay, so we've got a couple of the little screws. Washer, the slide-in nuts, and they sent the hex wrenches too, which is always nice. And oh, looks like I got a special edition white one. Thanks. Oh, this is new. This is kind of cool. It's I don't know if you can see the texture. Yeah. It's like, it's clearly a 3D printing artifact, but it looks cool too because like it's a diagonal slope there, so it's doing, you know, one layer at a time, but it looks neat. All right, so we got the little crossbar first. And I'm guessing this has a little threaded ends, so it should just be a quick let's see. I'm sure it's just the... You will not be able to install the handle after installing the device. That means do the handle first, I guess. So we've got just the M5 bolt. That's what I thought. That goes in here. And then do we need to put the... We do. It's actually a proper cage, not just a stand. So we actually have to put this into it now. Yeah, because it is going to... This little bit goes over. Wait, it said you will not be able to install the handle after installing the device. So, handle first. Why won't I be able to? I don't understand why not. We're going to find out. Okay. So I got to put that in before we latch the other side. There we go. Okay. Oh, that was the wrong... That was the wrong M5. I'm going to have to undo the other side. Should have been the long one. Yep. And then let's redo this one. I will get to the questions in a second, as soon as I get this thing together. Okay, now let's find out why I can't install the handle. Looks like I can. So probably gotta do, oops, small. Does that fit through here? Probably need the washer for that one. That doesn't look long enough. Nope, M510 goes on that one, not the tiny one. But it does say to use the washer. Washer, M510. Is that really a M5? No, it's not. I think I might be missing a part. Because there's only the tiny one for the small screws for the wire manager, which is these. Because these go, yeah, these go on with no washer in there. Yeah, that goes through. This goes on the bottom. And then I can slip that in later. So I am missing the little nuts for I'm missing the nuts for the handle, and that's why it says I can't put the handle on after installing the device, because I'm supposed to slide the nuts in first. Okay, and then those can just, those slip into the aluminum. So that's fine. But yeah, this one I don't have the nut for. So I'm going to have to go into my stash of parts, because I do have a lot of parts. Yeah, not in the box. Thankfully, I've got a whole lot of spare parts, and we're looking for these ones. Okay. So now I do need to take this off because I need to slip those in first. Okay. Now that those are in, probably should have not plugged this in while I'm doing this. Use the washer. Where'd it go? Come back. That should just attach right there. Ooh, which way do I want the little... Probably want it this way. Yep. And that guy over there. And go in. Great. I should probably put the rubber feet on, but we can get this box out of the way now. One, two, three, and four. Great. There we go. That's looking good. And then if I did want to add the wire managers, which I usually don't actually do, I guess they're going to go on the bottom of this. And then the nut just kind of slips in, and then when you tighten it, it should... Oops, I did that backwards. It's supposed to be like that. The nut should just grab it as soon as it's tight. Nope, missed it. Can you kind of see it? It should go right into that slot, and then nope, it's not grabbing it. Go a little farther. There we go. That grabbed it. And the other one, same thing. We'll drop the screw in. Start this with just like half a turn to give it enough room to grab the aluminum. And then slip it in there and tighten it, and it should grab it. There we go. Beautiful. Much better. Oh, it is like, it does have like a 3 millimeters of wiggle room. The bar is just a little bit too long. There's also, looks like 1.5 millimeters there and there. So I think the aluminum bar could shrink just a touch, and then it would be snug. So maybe they will fix that for the next one. But great. Much better. Now it is a lot easier for me to film these videos because now the angle is right. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Andre says, which prompter kit would you recommend for use with the Lilliput A11? It's been a while. I don't remember. So, okay. I don't have like... I've only tried a couple, but let me show you what I've got on mine right now. This is the teleprompter that I'm using right now. It's the Glide Gear TMP 100. Let's see if I have a link for that. It is not exactly made for this. I believe it's made for a tablet. Yeah. Okay, here's the link. So it's made for a tablet, and the slightly awkward part about it is that, so see how there's like this lip, which is clearly supposed to like grip an iPad or something? It is, so it doesn't really grab the monitor, but the monitor happens to be a really good size for it. But I actually had to just like put a piece of tape on the bottom to actually make it not slide around because it doesn't properly grip it. I was thinking at some point about like doing something with the tripod screw that's on the both ends of the monitor to mount it properly, but since this is not moving around all the time, it's actually fine. So it's not necessarily the perfect teleprompter for it, but it does work. And the size is good. Ted says, is there a keyboard and mouse option for the YoloLive Ultra? Oh, Matt says you can pair a Bluetooth keyboard or plug in USB-A, no mouse. Oh, funny. I thought a mouse did work because it's just an Android device. But I've never actually tried it. I have used a keyboard with it. I've never tried a mouse. In plain sight says, I've heard the YoloBox Extreme has issues pushing out a solid internet connection for streaming without bonding. Have you experienced any such issues with the Extreme? I mean, anything that's not bonded is going to, potentially have issues if the network connection is not good. SRT will be more reliable than RTMP. So if you have the ability to push SRT out to whatever you're streaming to, that's going to be a lot better, even with just one internet connection. That said, if you can't do SRT, YoloBox's bonding connection significantly improves the connection, even if you have only one internet connection, which is weird. So you don't actually need two connections, and you will get a big improvement in the connection if you are using bonding. But if you're not using bonding, or if you don't want to for some reason, you do have to pay for it. So if you don't want to buy their bonding service, then you're at the mercy of your internet connection, and it can be a problem. But if you have the ability to go SRT out, that's going to always be better. So. Apex Media Production says, can you use the YoloBox as a replay option for the ATEM? My concern is it does not capture all of the cameras. So the YoloBox Ultra and Extreme can do replay on multiple angles, but you're going to have to do a lot of creative wiring to get a copy of all your cameras into the YoloBox and the ATEM. Actually, there are some good options for that, one of which I need to actually unbox, so maybe I can do that, because they sent it over a while ago and I feel bad that I haven't touched it yet. Basically what you're looking for is it's called like a matrix. Let me go grab one, because yeah, I'll show you what I mean. So these are like fancy splitters, I guess you can think of it. One way to do it is you can use like, 4 HDMI splitters, but that gets to be a pain in the butt with powering everything. So this is called a matrix, and let me grab the link to this one for the timestamps. It looks like I actually don't have the right link yet. 4x4 matrix. It is this one. They also have different configurations of them. So this one's a 4x2. So what this means is where is my link maker? There we go. If I get this in the chat right now, it means that the timestamps for it will work better on the replay. Okay. Great. So there's there is the link is in the chat now for this. So this, the idea is, it's this little box. It does have a remote, which may or may not be super helpful. So this is 4 inputs and 4 outputs. So for the purposes of what we're talking about here, so what you can do with this, you can plug in 4 video sources here, and then you get 4 outputs. And then you can switch any of the outputs to be any of the inputs. So this is not going to solve it for all of your cameras. But what this can do is if you plug in, if you have 2 cameras, let's say 2 cameras, then you can get 2 copies of each out. So actually what you want is a 2x4, but I don't think they usually don't sell them. It's usually either the same ins and outs or more inputs and fewer outputs. So if you have camera 1, you can send camera 1 to the YoloBox and to the ATEM. Then you have camera 2, you can send camera 2 to the YoloBox and to the ATEM. Right. So I don't know if it's actually going to be any clearer if I actually wire it up. Because there's just going to be a big mess of wires on the table. But this would let you send, so you plug your cameras in here, you do the routing out here. That way your YoloBox gets each camera and your ATEM gets each camera. Then, of course, your YoloBox output needs to go into the ATEM also, so you can actually show it on the stream. But that would work then for replaying multiple cameras. Yeah, I don't think they have a 2x4. They also have an 8x8, which is a lot bigger and a lot more expensive. These tend to get more expensive the more ins and outs you have. Exponentially more expensive. I am using essentially this same thing, but with SDI for a lot of the things I have in the studio. A lot of this stuff is connected through a giant matrix of 20 by 20. So I can send inputs and outputs to all the different screens around here. Cool. Okay, still going through the chat here. Andre says, I murdered the Elgato prompter by moving the screen, then screwed in the A11 in its place. I thought the Elgato prompter was a lot smaller. I guess it's like close to the same size. That's hilarious. Michael asks, do you know why feedback doesn't work right on OBS source visible when you want to toggle the visibility of the group? Doesn't seem to work. I have to use one of the underlying items. No, I haven't noticed that. I don't, because all I really use OBS for is the chat and the map. And I haven't, so I only have one scene created. No, I don't know. Sorry. Tauji says biggest difference between mini and one. Oh, so yeah, I actually did a video about this a couple weeks ago when the Director One was first announced. They are very, very similar. The main difference is the size. However, the other difference is this one has the one has the HDMI out, so the mini does not. The mini has only USB-C out, which you can plug in a USB-C to HDMI adapter, but this one gives you an HDMI output right on the bottom, so it saves you an adapter, and that's just nicer. So that's one of the differences. The other difference is, well, you'll notice the antennas, but the reason there's 4 antennas is because it also has a SIM card slot in it. So you can actually give this a cell connection directly, whereas on the Mini, in order to give it a cell connection, you have to either tether to a phone or plug in a USB modem. I think those are the main differences. The same number of HDMI ins, the same number of USB ins, and yeah. And then there's like slight other slight physical difference is the fan is no longer here. So you could actually put this flat on the desk, but you can't put the Mini flat on the desk because the fan will be blocked. That's about it. Bigger screen, brighter screen. It also, notice that it doesn't flicker anymore when it's on my camera. The Mini screen flickers terribly when I'm filming it. It's really hard to film it well. The reluctant marketer says, YouTube Studio does not show me an option to use SRT. Is it generally available or do you need an invite? It is invite only right now. I do not know what the criteria are for getting an invite. I just got an email one day saying they wanted to send me an invite to the SRT beta. I don't know when they're going to roll it out, but they should roll it out soon because it's been great for me. Like I've been using it now for months. Every stream to YouTube, this one included, is going over SRT. It doesn't make a ton of difference in my studio here where my network connection is generally pretty good, but it definitely helps when I'm not in the studio. And yeah, I'm going from the ATEM Mini ISO SDI, ATEM SDI ISO, that's the one, the 4-input SDI switcher. So that's what's streaming SRT to YouTube right now. So I don't know. I have no idea what they're looking for with the beta. Like, I've just been using it. I haven't really needed to ask them anything about it because it's been working totally fine. It is a little bit more complicated to set up in the encoders because with RTMP, it's just like, here's your stream key. With SRT, there's a stream key and an encryption key, and then there's a bunch of other parameters that different encoders will ask you for with different names and different ways of putting it into the software. So I had to take a screenshot of like the Director Mini settings in order to be able to remember what goes where and what magic letters to use in the thing. But at least with the ATEM, it's pretty straightforward. There's just like 2 fields you paste in. Urban Media Showcase says, I remember using the Zoe box several episodes back. Do you know what version of PoE I would need to power 3 units? PoE Plus or Plus Plus. So the PoE requirement is for each box, and it actually says on it, it says PoE Plus. So you would need enough PoE in your Switch to power 3 PoE Plus devices. It doesn't tell the PoE watts on the back, but yeah, PoE Plus. My only complaint about that is that the fan is a little bit loud, but you know, that's how it goes. The building sheriff says, I've seen a couple videos on YouTube saying that a firmware update on the Osmo Action 5 now allows USB to HDMI live output. Have you experienced thoughts on it? I've used it a couple times. It's great. It basically that means if you need a action camera form factor. So I'm going to go on the GoPro rant again. Never buy a GoPro again. Like, there is no reason to anymore. So the video I did last week is about the AVKANS Go, which is big battery inside. There's an HDMI port. There's a bunch of network protocols like NDI, SRT, RTSP, everything built into the camera. For a fixed studio camera, and it has optical zoom, so way better, and better manual color controls. So for a fixed studio camera, this is going to be 10 times better than a GoPro for everything. It's only a little bit bigger once you add the media mod on the GoPro. So it's just like, you can still, put this in interesting places. I actually ended up buying another one because I liked it so much. This was the one they sent me. This is the one I bought because I'm going to do some more outdoor streams this summer, and these are fantastic for it. So fixed cameras, like if I'm putting them on a tripod or something, it's great. The battery lasts a long time. I did the bike ride stream 2 weekends ago. No, last weekend. It was last weekend, wasn't it? And, the battery lasted all morning. No problem. Now this is, it's not light. There's a bit of weight to it. So I wouldn't, let me drop that link in the chat. I would not put this camera on my handlebars of my bicycle and then ride around. So that is the difference, is that this is like, I'll put it on a tripod, set it outside. It's nice that it's wireless, so it can be like, 10 feet away from me or whatever without needing to run cables. It's a little bit heavy. I wouldn't put it on my handlebars. It also doesn't have like any of the fancy action camera stabilization, which is what you get with a GoPro. So on the other hand, the DJI Action does have all the fancy stabilization that a GoPro has. And in my opinion, it's, slightly better than a GoPro image quality. Not dramatically different. It's, similar action camera lens, action camera colors to the GoPro. But now that this has USB-C to HDMI out, without adding a media mod, So the price you pay for this is all you need plus the $10 dongle or whatever. This I would put on handlebars and run a cable to whatever HDMI switcher, and that's fantastic. So between these two cameras, there is now no reason to ever buy a GoPro again. This is a better GoPro for GoPro things, and this is a better GoPro for fixed camera things. So yeah, only reason to use a GoPro is if you already have one, and the only reason to buy a GoPro would be to buy a GoPro. What's the one before they added the media mod? I think 7, because that at least has an HDMI port. Now the quality of the 7 is going to be nowhere near the DJI Action 5 or even the AVKANS, but at least it has an HDMI port and it's small. So, and you can probably find them cheap because they're very old now. Oh yeah, Razor Baby says GoPro 7 is now really dropped in price. I can imagine. Yeah. Matt says you have a mobile hotspot device that has Ethernet output, not just Wi-Fi. A lot of the GL.iNet do. So they have this one's a little bit older now. This is the 4G LTE, so it's not 5G. This is the XE300. So this takes a SIM card here, and then it does have Ethernet out. I always prefer doing that Ethernet out for this stuff with a. So there's that. There's, if you want one that's a little bit bigger, this is what I used last weekend. It's a bit of a monster. It got rained on. It was raining last weekend. This is the X3000. This takes 2 SIMs, and then also has a LAN port. I like this one a lot. It worked very well. It's Wi-Fi 6, so pretty new Wi-Fi. And it was enough to stream the AVKANS SRT into the Director Mini over the Wi-Fi. Let me drop that link in the chat. And my laptop and my phone, they were all on the Wi-Fi. And then I did hardwire the Director Mini into that network jack just to reduce the number of wireless connections. The other one is that everyone uses is the Nighthawk M6, which I still have never used. Nighthawk M6 Pro. Michael also recommends it, higher cellular throughput compared to GL.iNet. I actually would be curious to compare it to the new that big one, because I have a feeling that big one, actually the X3000, would be comparable. The other thing about the GL.iNets is you can run Tailscale VPN on that device to do some cool VPN tricks. Yeah. IT Never Gets Old says, I wonder if there's companion support for the Matrix. I don't think there is. They do have this remote, so theoretically you could do copy the IR codes off of this and blast IR at it, but there's no network jack on this at all. So there's buttons on the front to manually change each of the 4, so you can manually do it that way. There's the IR remote, but there's no network jack in this. There is I don't remember if it's their bigger one that has network, but I did find a network, one of them that was like 8x8 that had network control on it. Robert says, what 1920 by 1200 touchscreen monitor do you recommend for the YoloBox Ultra? I bought one for pretty cheap on Amazon at one point, and it worked fine. I don't even remember what it was. I don't know if I would recommend it. It's fine. It's I think just get what is the? Let's see if I can even find the one I have. It was a 16-inch. Is it even still available? No, it's not even available. It's just like a no-name brand. Whatever, it's fine. How much was it? It was $120. So just find something around there. They're going to be no-name brands. Razor Baby says, any idea when the firmware update for the Director Mini will be available? No, I haven't actually heard. I remember they, I think, were going to try to shoot for NAB to get it out, and then they had to cancel that for some reason. So I don't know when it's going to come out. I hope it does soon though, because I'm kind of waiting to do like a full walkthrough of the Director One until that firmware comes out, just so I can talk about some of the new features in the new firmware as well. So hopefully soon, because I'm just waiting on that. In Plain Sight says, have you tried the prism lens for adding more cameras? We use it on our live streams for BTS footage with our cell phones. Never heard of it. What is it? It's a, oh, does it turn an iPhone into a webcam? Is it like a wireless webcam? Weirdly, I can't see. There's no information on it on the website. It's just like, go download it. Experience a new webcam. I guess if you're using a computer for streaming, that would make sense. I don't like using a computer for streaming, so I like getting like SRT feeds out of the phone and pulling those into other encoders and stuff. Baruch says, do you suggest to use a PTZ camera like the PTZ Optics Move SE or something similar for large conferences, 400 people, with iMag as the primary camera? I've never used a PTZ Optics camera, so I don't know the details of it. The one thing, if you are going to be projecting the image of the people in the room, you will want to find a camera with the lowest latency possible, because it's distracting if the video of people is out of sync with what they're seeing, even if it's just like a couple of frames. So you want to find a camera with the least amount of delay out as possible for that. I think even the Lumix cameras that I'm using might be too much. Here, you can judge for yourself. I'll put it up on the screen back there. Well, we've also got the screen delay, so I don't know how much of this is the camera's fault. But there, so this is like, you can see there's quite a delay. It's like half a second almost, right? So is that terribly distracting? Maybe. Let's see. Is the little screen in the back also delayed? Looks like the TV is actually delayed more. So yeah, the TV is a little bit farther behind. So that's probably closer to the camera delay, and the TV has its own delay. So get a camera that has less delay than that. If you can get SDI out of the camera, that'll probably help. And then, yeah, so I don't know about the PTZ Optics camera, unfortunately. Matt says, I have the AKNTZCS. These brands. Touch monitor, it was like $70. Oh, cool. Okay. If you can ever find it again, because those tend to come and go. Glenn says, have you ever used Speedify on the Director Mini or Director One? Over here in the UK, it's awful. I normally use a live view with the Magewell, but would like to make my setup more mobile utilizing the SIM slot. I haven't done a proper test of Speedify yet on the Director Mini. I hopefully will. I wish that iPhones had SIM slots still, because I have an eSIM for my other iPhone now, but I can't like pop that into the Director Mini now. Maybe I should have bought a Hong Kong iPhone while I was there. just to get the SIM slot in it. Oh well. Dylan says I have the OREI 4x4 HDMI matrix. It's great. Oh, good. Yeah, cool little box. Neil says, Ali on Discord says, Genlock, all the things for the lowest latency. Oh yeah, that too. I have no idea if the PTZ Optics camera has that. David says, hope all is well. What's the best way to run a live stream, but also before the video is streamed? How can we aggregate all the cameras whereby one grade the footage before it's being sent? So if you are using cameras that don't, if you're using cameras that you need to color grade, then if you're doing that live, then you will need some sort of thing to manage the colors on the output. Some cameras do it. So like some of the cameras you can record the ungraded but output over the HDMI like with a LUT on it. Or the other way to do it is using the little Blackmagic converter boxes. So for example, that monitor in the Mac up there, that is just a little LCD, color LCD monitor, but I made a LUT for it in Resolve that turns it to black and white with a slight blue tint. So that's a regular RGB, like full color monitor, little panel that I put behind the screen there. But it is being fed from a converter that's sitting inside the box. So it's one of the little Blackmagic converters that supports loading LUTs into it. So you plug it in over USB, you copy the LUT over and with their Blackmagic converter software, and then it will take whatever's on the input, run the LUT, and output the graded version. So you can do that to all your cameras, and that would work. Aiku Online says, can you explain what ME and ME, what's ME1 and ME2? Do I really need such mixers for a church? So ME it means mix effect, but doesn't really matter. What it is it's like each ME is like a video switcher. So if you have an ATEM Mini or any of the smaller scale similar switchers, they're usually just one ME. And that means that you have one sort of mixer to do things on. So I'm mostly in this stream, I'm doing hard cuts. But for example, if I did a, where's my overhead camera? If I did a soft cut, let's go to between these. So if I do this transition, like this fade, in order to do that, that's with ME1. So I'm using the ME in order to do that transition. So that takes up takes up that ME in order to do that transition. So if you need to do a crossfade or any of those transitions, or also like picture-in-picture layouts, those all happen on the ME. If you need to do multiple of those, you can get a switcher with multiple MEs. And one of the reasons you might need to do multiple is if you are sending a video feed to the projector. So let's say that's a projector in the back of the room, that TV back there. Right now, that TV is not getting a ME output. It's getting just a like a routed output. So I can only do hard cuts on that right now. So I can change what's on the TV. I can do a hard cut between, the map. I can hard cut to that one. I can hard cut to, I can put a logo on there, whatever it is. But if I wanted to do a picture-in-picture effect or a crossfade on that projector, I would need to use the second ME. So because I do have a 4 ME switcher, which I frankly barely ever use anything other than the 1 ME, but let me go do this here. So I'm going to set the TV output. Instead of setting it up to one of the inputs, I'm going to set the TV to be, where is it? ME2. So ME2 is set here to the iPad. Let me change that to the overhead camera. So now if I show you this, ME2 is outputting there, and now I can still do cuts, right? But it also means I can now crossfade. So now I can do a crossfade on ME2 and fade between that. Or I can do picture-in-picture layouts or whatever on that bus, because what you're seeing is ME1, and that screen is now ME2. So now I can do crossfades, I can do, you know, dip through a color or the little whatever wipe transitions. So it lets you feed the projector with full video mixing effect capabilities, picture-in-picture. Yeah, there's a little picture-in-picture on the TV up there, or whatever it is. So that's why you might need multiple MEs. You can get a very similar effect by using two physically different switchers. So you can have a physical switcher, like a ATEM Mini running your stream, and you can have a separate physical switcher running your projector. And then that's also like having two MEs. So that's the deal. Which devices have MEs? So the ATEMs, it's like in the ATEM's name usually. So if you go to the website, these ones all just are one ME, so they don't mention it. But then once you get up to the bigger ones, actually these are also just one ME. Once you get up to these, then you start seeing 2ME, 4ME. So that means like this one has those two MEs, so you can do two different mixes. This one has 4, like mine. Even the 8K is actually also a 4ME switcher, but it can do 8K output on it instead. The panels that you can buy for these will also be able to control one or more MEs. So it's kind of like the software control here, where here is the buttons for ME1, here are the buttons for ME2, and then in software I can go at 3 and 4 up here. But on these, this panel, like those buttons are just locked to the, you know, one ME. Here now you have like a second copy of those buttons, and on this giant one you get the 4 full rows of them. You can also have a third ME for the lobby that has some form of what's going on in the sanctuary and some info overlaid, like Wi-Fi password, other meeting times, websites, QR codes. Yeah, totally. Yeah, lobby output is another good option. That way you can switch that between program feed or add overlays on the other ME, things like that. Andre says, did you see any glitches with the RØDECaster video audio delay feature? I had a problem with the ZV-1 where I could not compensate a mic despite comparing through the analog out of the RØDECaster video. Oh, yeah. So the weird thing about the audio delay feature on the RØDECaster video is that the monitor output, like the headphones and the output of the device, don't add the delay. And that's because most of the time you actually don't want it on your headphone mix or in the speakers. It's only delayed on the actual streaming output. So it makes it a little bit hard to check if it's working, because you have to actually listen to the real streaming output. I feel like I mentioned this in a video a while ago about the RØDECaster video, but I can't remember which one, because I have a bunch of videos about it now. There is a trick, and I can't remember the trick now. So go back through my other videos. But yeah, the reason they did that, and I asked them about this because it was confusing to me at first because I was expecting it to work like the ATEM. But they explained that most of the time, like the analog output that you're going to pipe into the room speakers, you don't want that delayed because that wouldn't be good at all. You'd also, if you're going to be listening to the mix, if you're like podcasting, you don't want to hear yourself on a delay, so it doesn't add the delay to that. So for most people, they actually don't want to hear the delay at all, even if there's a delay set. So that's why they just like all the outputs don't add the delay except the streaming output to the actual stream. But I do remember that being confusing. ZoeBox, what was the earlier question? Firmware update for the ZoeBox. Maybe I'll boot mine up and then we can install the update and see how that goes. I have to go into my switch config to turn it on because the fan is just a little bit too loud, so I leave it turned off now most of the time. Which switch is this? PoE, where are you plugged in? This is my one complaint with the Unify software is it doesn't show me the names of the devices unless they're on. But I can name the ports. So if I can find the port that I plugged it into, because I think I named, there it is. And then I can turn the PoE on. And it's going to take a minute. I should hear it when it powers on. Andre says, you mentioned it on the video, but I got confused since I tried through the monitoring out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you'll need to... I thought there was one of the outputs that you can listen to, but now I can't remember which of them. Otherwise, you're going to have to just like record to a drive, play back the file, or stream on YouTube and scrub back through it, like stream to a private video and test it until you find it matching. I thought there was one of the outputs. Now I don't have it handy to turn on. We got the 4ME 4K when we got the new 4K projectors for that reason. Put the 2ME in the fellowship hall. Nice. Why am I not hearing the ZoeBox booting up? Maybe it's just quiet. I'll probably hear it in a second. Oh, there it goes. Now I can hear its little fan going. Okay, so let's see if we have a firmware update. Oh, it doesn't check online. Okay, I need to go. I'm on 10250. So let's go to the website. And let's see, where do I get the firmware from? New 4K HDMI video recorder. What is that? Now I'm just getting distracted. Medical imaging. Interesting. Okay, support. Let's see. So we documents. SDI. Ah, there it is. Firmware. Oh, come back. Firmware 1107. Great. Oh, still downloading. AQ Online says, I use an ATEM Mini Pro. I experience delay anytime I project. How can I resolve that? So the ATEM Mini will add a little bit of a delay on the HDMI out itself, but probably your cameras are adding more of the delay than the ATEM is. So if you need to get the if by delay you mean like the delay that you're seeing here, is that the delay you mean? Because like, so that's an example of like my camera is just the output of the camera is delayed. So I need to delay the audio to match the camera so that I look like I'm in sync. So as like I'm projecting this in the room, you know, what you're seeing in the room is delayed, right? And the ATEM Mini will also add like not very much, but some delay on top of the cameras adding, but the cameras are adding the bulk of the delay. So some cameras have worse HDMI delay out than others. SDI is usually less delayed than HDMI. If you need to go really far down, then you need to get a much more expensive switcher that has the Genlock ability to sync the actual SDI signals themselves across everything. So you are, first thing you can do is find different cameras, and then other than that, you're looking at spending a bunch of money. Andre says, it looks like there's some video latency on the HDMI outs on the RØDECaster video. Yes, the RØDECaster video adds more delay on the HDMI outs compared to the ATEM Mini. So that's definitely true. Okay, firmware downloaded. Let's, oh, I need to unzip it first. There we go. So going from 102 to 11. Gonna let that go for a while. Oh yeah, great suggestion from Gwen. Also minimize devices in the signal chain converters. Each device adds a touch of latency and it can add up. Let's go, Zoe Tech Shopping. They have a lot of interesting stuff. Michael says, we're in the market for a new protection. What should we focus more on? Resolution, lumens, contrast ratio. Oh, projector? I haven't looked at projectors in a while. I would say, what's it for? The lumens are probably going to make the most difference, and also the most difference in cost, but that's like the difference between people seeing the picture well or not. So I would say resolution is probably the less important of those, because most people won't be able to tell the difference between a 4K or a 1080 picture on a screen that's far away in the back of a room somewhere. And your source material probably also doesn't need the detail of 4K, frankly. So I would not prioritize that, but the brightness of it will make a huge difference. Like I have, my little tiny projector, which would not work in a room with any light, right? Like it needs to be in a dark room. But then some projectors can blast a picture in, broad daylight. So yeah, I hear the Zoe box turn back on, and there we go. Now we're at 1107. Cool. So we should have now the ability to, what was it? SRT server. Was that already there, or was that, is that new? I don't know. I should have checked before. Okay, theoretically, I should be able to stream to this now from a ATEM. And I'm using the SRT output on the ATEM Mini, but I can use Lily's upstairs. Yeah, I can do that. So let me go to, actually I can just do this here. Go connect to, because I'm using the SDI, that one doesn't have it, and that's just an actual Mini. So let's connect to the one upstairs. And then let me, okay, now we have a custom URL H264. So I should be able to plug in the SRT details here. Let's find out if this is going to work. So server is that IP address, and then the key is, I think, this. This is why I say sometimes the SRT stuff is a little bit more confusing, because it's not always obvious what is the key or not. Let's see if that works. No. Okay. Oh, I probably need SRT here. Let's try with 9000. Okay, it's not blinking. So let's see if this is... So ATEM thinks it's streaming to this. Now we need to... Let's see. There's a way to... Working mode. Decoder. Oh, that was the wrong way. Okay. So that was in encoder mode. Now I need to... Then now there's an SRT server. And it's a caller, so that's backwards. So I need to make it a listener. There was a way to do that. Let's see. Running, no. How do I edit? Do I have to turn this off first? Yeah. Listener. There we go. So now we're going to use that. Oh, and it's port 9009. So we're going to stop this. We're going to go to port 9009. And it's called pusher. And let's see if this works. No. Maybe I have to actually... maybe I have to turn that on first. And then let's see, where is this plugged in? I need this to... okay, now this is waiting for connection. That's good. Let me go back to... I need to go back to my ATEM to make this actually show up somewhere. We're going to see it in... Let's see, I should have a little... I should have a little box I can add it to. Yeah. So that's going to be... Where did I put it? There it is, Zoe Tech. Okay, so that little box will hopefully now show the output of this when I 10, 4, 8, 11. So let's try this again. Nope. Pusher live. Oh, not main. Pusher live, AV. Still no. Okay. SRT 10, 11, 70, 73. Do I need that? Oh, wait, it turned into a caller. What? Listener. Oh, why is it not letting me change it? Do I need to click save? That's probably what I didn't do. There we go. Now it's pusher main. This is fun. Oh, look at that. Okay. No errors now. And do I need to click this? Running. It's not finding the video. This is, I think, what you said, right? In the comment earlier, was that it looks like it's working, but it's not decoding the video. Let me find that comment. Start an SRT server in listener mode. ATEM Extreme can talk to it, but the Zoe box does not recognize the stream. That does seem to be exactly what is happening here. Running no video. This is no longer blinking. So, okay, let's try a different bit rate. Still no. Other thing we can do is well, let's try to push to this from something else to rule out the ATEM. That's what we can do. So what else can I send SRT from? The Director Mini. So Director One now, since that's what's on. So 10, 11, 70.3. So here, let's not show you all my stream keys. Great. Okay. So here we can go, and this, now we have to again figure out what this wants for the, okay, so now the port is here, and then the stream, oh, and then that is not SRT, just the IP address, and then stream ID is going to be just that part. So let's see if this works. Save and go. This works. Okay, so now I see the map from, this is from the, coming from the Director Mini, running the little drone video on it, or Director One. So this, now I know that the Zoe box is decoding SRT. So, okay, let's stop that. And looks like it's showing me the, oh, I should have, let me start that again. I want to see it on this screen. Is it going? Yeah, there it goes. Running, still says no video here. Let's reload this. Ah, there it is. Running H.264 1920 1080. Great. So it's got it coming from the Director Mini. So let's stop that. And in a second, it should probably recognize that it's not. Okay. One more time on the ATEM. It thinks it's pushing. Reconnecting. Running no video. Still not finding it. The other thing I can try, which I'm not convinced will do anything, is to do the entire thing in the server field. See if that makes any difference. No, no difference. Reconnecting. I'm not sure why the why it's not recognizing the ATEM speed. I don't know then. But we know it's a problem with the ATEM because it does work with the Director Mini. So at least we've ruled that out. Sorry, I can't be more helpful. ATEM uses H.264 main profile. Maybe FPS on the ATEM Magewell was set to 60. Yeah, that's true. I can try. Yeah, I think mine is probably set to 30. So let's try. We can try that. Let's do that, and then let's make sure we save this. And then I will need to make sure I switch this back for Lily's stream. Did it read? No, it doesn't erase all the pictures anymore. Okay, great. Let's try sending 60 frames a second to it. And it does take a couple seconds before it recognized it. Running, still no video. And then pull flow stop. Weird. No idea. And I don't get any other options for the codec that it's using. Oh well. Maybe they will fix it in another update. What are you doing? Says, if you have the chance to test different cameras for latency, would it be better to audition them plugged directly into the projector or go through the switcher? Switcher sounds right. I would say if you're like, if you are trying to determine what's the actual latency out of the camera, go directly. But if you're trying to say like what's it actually going to look like, I would just go through the switcher, because that's what's the real thing you're going to see. Do the full URL again. I don't think that's going to make a difference, but I can try. Let's get rid of that and try that. So Walter Samus says, I'd be thoroughly impressed if I had any idea what's going on. I'm trying to get the ATEM to stream SRT to the Zoe box, which is... Where did it go? I lost it. There it is. Which is this little thing. But I have one in the rack down there that's plugged in. Little multi-purpose encoder decoder. It can do a bunch of different stuff. And the new feature is it has an SRT server in it, which I'm trying to get to work. And I was able to get it to work by sending a feed from this thing into the server, but I am not able to get the ATEM's feed to the server, which is a bummer. The other option is to look at the XML and try to figure it out. Yeah, but I know there's no, like, I can't change the ATEM to stream H265 or change any of the H264 parameters really anyway. So I don't think it's a stream key issue, because like if I use the wrong, like if I do this wrong, let's put like stream ID here, then, oh, that's funny. It doesn't complain. There's something weird about the SRT server in the Zoe box where it's not rejecting like invalid keys. So like if I just put in something random here, it should reject it, but it's not. So it's like it's just allowing it anyway. So yeah, I don't think it's a problem with the stream ID, but I guess it could be. It could be because the way that the Director Mini has the input fields for the SRT bits is different from the ATEM. But at some point I did see like it said, you know, receiving video here, so I think that worked. It's probably just something about the video codec that the ATEM is sending. David says, do you have any experience with Red Player? It's the software media player that Red puts out that's most compatible with Red's high-end codecs. Nope. No, never heard of it. Sorry. Thanks for trying the Zoe box. Well, sometimes the demos are successful, sometimes not. Looking around for what else I can get up to. Razor Baby says, I have the Zoe box too, and this is good info. It's a cool device. A little bum that the new feature doesn't work with the ATEM well, but at least it does work with the Director Mini. Yeah, cool little box. It can do a lot of stuff. What are you doing? Says, like Aaron said, the camera is the biggest culprit. Try to find one with least delay and keep the signal chain in SDI from the camera as much as possible. Yeah. SDI matrices will also add much, much less delay than HDMI matrices. The SDI matrix should only add a frame. Matt says, have you done your YoloBox Extreme video yet? I have not yet. I need to do that. It is, yes, I need to do that. I also need to do my NAB video, which I think is going to be first. Is it too late to put out an NAB video, or should I do it anyway? Because I did the whole recap on the live stream. It's basically going to be going through all those B-roll clips I showed on the live stream, but then like scripting a little bit better about it. Oh, the other thing, I'm curious if you guys would watch this. I have I want to say about 20-minute interview I filmed with someone from Blackmagic. I had not a tight list of questions, but I had some list of questions I asked, and it was all about like, you know, the ATEM the new ATEM Extreme, the Hyperdeck, like the things that you would be interested in if you're watching this channel. It's like a 20-minute interview. It's a long interview. I might pull out like a sentence or two from that for like the NAB recap video, but I'm curious, if I just like put that entire interview out as a video, would you watch it? Mostly unedited. It'd be like, I would just, trim here and there little bits, but be mostly unedited. So could be interesting. Never too late for your opinion. Curtis did it twice. Why not? I haven't even watched his. Do the NAB content is content. Okay, I will do it then. Can you stream Lily's ATEM to another device via SRT to compare it with settings? Curtis had Matt on his recap. Nice. I could stream Lily's ATEM to another device via SRT. We can do the Magewell. Actually, I can do the Director Mini. It's kind of or Director One, so I can go in here and I can make an SRT server, SRT listener. I'll just call it Lily, and we need to pick a port. Let's do that. So here is an SRT listener here. And now if I go into, did I give it a stream key? No, I think there's no stream key on it. Okay. So now if I go into here, we're going to go, what's the IP of this? It is 10.11.70.3, port 9099. Delete the stream key. Then let's go on air. It's not blinking, and there it is. That worked. So that's coming from the ATEM upstairs, coming down to the Director Mini, or Director One. I keep calling it a Mini. So definitely the ATEM's SRT streaming is working fine. Okay, we got some votes. Would watch it. I will watch as many NAB recaps as anybody publishes. Curtis and Tom and I hung out all afternoon. Tom jokes back because I'm 6'3", Curtis is 6'6", and Tom is a normal 5'8". I'm 5'6". I'm very short. I can't believe I didn't see any of you all. We must have just been crossing paths on Sunday because I didn't manage to see Curtis or Tom or Matt the entire day, but I saw a bunch of other people. So, oh well. Next time, hopefully, I will be there for more than just a day. Oh, what are you doing? Thanks for the reminder. Let's do that right now. Don't click this comment until you're ready to put Lily's frame rate back to 29.97. Done. And now it's streaming back down here at 29.97. Have you ever used PlayOutV with 60 frames per second material on a Pi? I get stuttery video when I try. I have not, but I'm not surprised. The Pi is a good box, but it's not that powerful. Speakeasy says, has anybody checked OC Duet SRT to Zoe box? Oh, that's a good one too. No, and now it would take too long to set that up. That'd be a good one too, though. Is it possible to use a web source like OBS on the RØDECaster video? Will Rode include a scoreboard embedded in the next firmware update? Currently, no. There's no web graphics like OBS in the RØDECaster video. I would say that there's a good chance that that will happen in a firmware update. I I don't know if there's going to be a scoreboard specifically, but web graphics, I think there's a good chance. So stay tuned for news on that, because I will absolutely do a video about that if that ships. Any news on the new OC Go Stream? I do have it. It came back. This was the one they sent me, and it arrived just before NAB, and then they lost one that they sent to themselves in Vegas. Didn't make it in time, so I brought this to them for the booth, and then they sent it back from Vegas. So now it's got it's back here with a lot of new fingerprints on it from all the people checking it out at the booth, but it is back. So now I can actually properly show you it and turn it on and stuff, because it was unreleased when I got it, but they launched it at NAB. So now I can actually share more info about it. So I'll turn this on soon. Wow, it really is dusty. Got some, yeah. Yeah, so this is the, show it to you, not upside down. 4 HDMI ins, 4 SDI ins. So it's the same as the GoStream Duet, where you can toggle. It's 4 video channels, and you can toggle each channel between HDMI or SDI. It's not really an 8 input switcher, but you can kind of cheat if you want to and use it as 8. But then it's got SDI out and 2 HDMI outs. Oh, they added the physical power switch. That's new, because they used to have just the button version. Still has 2 mics, still has 2 USBs. It's kind of a weird spot for the power, but I guess it's fine. Ethernet and 2 XLR mics now, which is also new. So this is like, yeah, this is a nice little box. So it does have 8. It is called Duet 8, and it does have 8 buttons, but that's because 4 of them are for not physical inputs. They're for like the network streams like NDI, or the playback of an SD card video, and things like that. So it is an 8 input switcher. It's just that there's only 4 physical video sources you can use. Buttons to toggle the outputs, all the same audio mixer buttons, the macro buttons, recording buttons. It also, new on this, is ISO recording. So that is super cool. This is like really actually an impressive box, frankly. Assuming that it does everything it says it does, which I do trust it to, because it's OC and they have been making good stuff. So, yeah. So what's this? Power. I think I don't need that one. Is this the right power adapter? Yes. I guess I can turn this on. What do we think? Should we turn this on? I think I don't. That one's not plugged into anything. So let's get, cats must be asleep. Let's get that plugged in. They don't have any, I don't have any SDI cables handy. So we're just going to be doing the HDMI test, but I can route this into the stream. So we can at least do that. Oh, and I can also connect the AVKANS maybe. I will leave the Director One up there just in case we need it for something. So let me get this little bundle connected. So we've got purple is 1. Don't know why I did it that way. Which direction does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll give you one output. Oh, output 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there's 3 actually separate outputs, so I'll plug that into output 2. And then, oh, I need Ethernet probably. I guess I technically don't. But no, if I'm going to use network sources, which I do want to show you, of course I need Ethernet. Okay, let's do that. And power it on. I don't know if you can hear the fan. It definitely made a little fan blast when it booted up, but now it's pretty quiet. Here to record is here. All the buttons. It does have so many buttons. And then let's get this routed into something you can see, and I can see because I can't actually see the output of this right now. Output 2. And where is the menu? All these buttons. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. I don't see it coming through that yet. There it goes. And then, do I get a menu on that one? I don't. Do I get a menu on 3? Yes, I do. 3 is the multi-view, which means I should be able to give you that there. There we go. Okay. Oh, weird. The preview is like low frame rate. There's the menu. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get these outputs better. We're going to give the main camera to number 1. We're going to give number 2 is overhead, 3 is a side, and 4 is, let's give it that camera. So we got 4 cameras. Program. Preview. Why is preview not? Something is weird. The preview box, the one that's low frame rate, is not actually showing me preview. Maybe there's something in the menu about it. I haven't even turned this on yet, so this is fun. Settings. No. Outputs. Output format. 1080 video source. Oh, looks like output 3 is not switchable. Interesting. So that means that is always the multi-view. Output 1 and 2 are switchable, as is USB. This is super handy that you can change USB to be something different. Okay. And then inputs. Here we go. Source selection. So input 1, this is where you choose SDI or HDMI. It looks like it is auto-negotiating though. This is not a bad idea. Factory reset it since randos mess with it. It's probably not a bad idea. Let's just do that. Is there a reset? Factory reset. Let's try that. And are we back? Update. Press menu for 2 seconds to close the window. Live factory reset. Okay. So now we've got, oh, totally different layout. Okay. It is still low frame rate in the, that part of the window. Is it also in input? Yeah, interesting. But the preview is also a low frame rate. Super interesting. Okay, now let's go back into the menu and see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 video sources, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 looks like it's, yeah, it's playing back a video from. Oh, there's an SD card in here. I wonder what SD card that is. There's 2 players, so I can switch between 1 and 2 and play back the different video clips. Did it come preloaded with a cooking show? Yeah, it did, apparently. There's an SD card in here still, so it must be on that SD card. Okay, so 1. What else? Yeah, it looks like just the cooking show. So let's see what is in the, I wanted to see this inputs section. Inputs, source selection. So SDI, 5 is player 1, 6 is player 2, and then we've got 2 webcams, but I can also change this to SRT RTMP or NDI. So let's do 7 is NDI and 8 is SRT RTMP. Okay, then we go to NDI. Oh, did I say it was 7? Yeah. And then it should hopefully find something. Yep. So we can pull in the ProConvert feed, which is what is that ProConvert showing? Let's see what this is showing. NDI. So the ProConvert is encoding NDI. It is sending 1080/30, and the output, or the what are you actually encoding? We're going to send it whatever's on ATEM 4, which is the PTZ camera. Should be showing us the PTZ camera. It's not finding it though. Okay. Low frame rate previews the trend. I hope doesn't catch on. Thanks, Rode. It makes sense why the Rode one does it, because theirs uses more. Theirs is a combo FPGA and CPU. But this is mostly an FPGA. There's only a CPU in here for some of the. I didn't think any of the video processing was going through the CPU here. But that is really interesting. Okay, so I don't know why the NDI one isn't working. We can try OBS. This is the OBS output. Also not finding that. I'm not seeing it in input 7. Okay, the preview is updating now. The little preview box is updating correctly. So something was weird about the setting before. So could be that it's not. Let's get a camera turned on, because it's possible that this is NDI HX only, not NDI, whatever the Magewell is sending. That camera should turn on at some point. But in the meantime, let's go to 8, which is SRT RTMP 5678. Oh, it looks like I have to put files onto the SD card for that. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see what is on this SD card. Ooh, it's an old one. NDI and USB camera and SD playback will be CPU, right? Probably, yeah. So that's why this is like a combo device. But I would have assumed that all the video previews up here would be going through the FPGAs, but that is apparently not necessarily the case. Oh, and no, that should be plugged in. My SD card reader is not reading this SD card. There it goes. Just took a minute. So on the SD card, we've got profiles, we've got stream key, folder, stream setting. Hopefully there's nobody's stream keys in here. It looks like it's just server config. Okay. Upload URL. There we go. That's the one that I was finding. So, oh, interesting. There's a browser.txt. Well, that's interesting. Let's change that to my chat. And wow, that was a close one. Hope that didn't show up on the stream. Good thing my taxes were already filed. Okay. Let's edit that file. Don't ask again. What is this? It's interesting that it needs the IP address in the file. So let's, what is the SRT? What is the IP address of this thing? I think I'm going to need to find it on my network. Weird. I don't see it. Maybe it's somewhere in the menu. Settings. Network. There it is. 42.248. So we're going to fix that file. And then we're going to, so here's the cooking show. Okay, it is in slow motion. And videos 2 is that little stinger thing. Okay. And images has a little lower third, NAB logo live. Okay, great. So let's pop this back in. And now that we've got the stream key on it, now the sting works? I don't know. Let's find out. So with that plugged in, let's go back into the menu and go to, what was it? Inputs, SRT RTMP. Let's go down to 8 and change this to SRT text. And then what? I wonder how that browser source is used. Let's see what happens. I'm not convinced this is going to work, but let's choose browser.txt. Okay. And then we'll change input 7 to, there's no browser option. So let's just see what happens. Okay. So theoretically, I should be able to stream to this. I already forgot the IP address. I should be able to stream SRT to this now. Let's try it from the Director One. SRT caller. Was it settings? Network 42.248. 248. And it was, did I put a port number in there? Shoot, I already forgot. Inputs. I can't see it big. There was a port in there. Gonna have to pop the SD card out to find out. I'm gonna copy it to my computer. It's port 9014. Okay. Port 9014. Save and connect. Oh, look at that. SRT worked great. Is the browser working? Can you maybe connect the computer and use the OC software to see the browser options? I have no idea if they've updated the desktop software already for it, because this is not actually released yet. But we can find out. Download. Actually, let's see if there's any firmware for it. Nope. Okay, download PC and Mac. It doesn't say it supports that yet. So I think I already have this. Go stream. Not sure this is going to work. Connect. What was it? 42.248. Should really give it a better IP. It's not finding out the network, so I'm not sure this is going to actually connect. It doesn't say it supports it yet, so yeah. This is probably, I probably need the updated version. 1.1. Oh, the 1.2 is out, so I should at least download that. Okay. USB-C cable to connect to the computer. I don't remember if it actually even supports that. I've only ever done it over the network. So we're gonna see if 1.2 works. Oh, the cat just ran across the screen. That was funny. Yeah, it's not, I'm sure it needs a new version. So yeah, that's fine. I'll just wait till I get the new version from them. Oh, it didn't actually install it because it's giving me a security warning. Lovely. Let's try to fix that. They really should get the signing thing worked out. Where was that? Privacy and security. There we go. Open anyway. Jeez, didn't like my fingerprint either. Oh, now it's going to actually let me install it. Better. Okay. now it shipped to the general public on the 15th of May, so it's still possible changes. Yeah, it's still early days for this. So I don't know if this is actually going to do anything here. Oh, this is different. Okay. This definitely looks different. Connect. It's not finding it, though. Oh, look at that. I think it doesn't know that it's an 8 input. But it's connecting now. Yeah, it doesn't know about the 8 input yet because it's only giving me the options like it's as if it's a regular Go stream. It's not even actually, yeah, no, it's very confused. Yeah, I'll have to wait until I get the actual update for this. No critic shot today. Go as long as you want. Can you do these setting changes to the software app? Normally, yes, once the software is actually shipping. Yeah. So right now we're stuck with only being able to do what we can do on this. So I have no idea how the browser thing works. Oh, I should probably, now that Lily's home, I should probably not be streaming the cat cam. Record. Playback, player 1, player 2. Stream. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Put stream keys on the SD card for easier data entry. Macros, media players. Audio mixer. Okay. Yeah, that's all the same. And then we've got, I think they said there's more super source layouts. Oh yeah, look at all those different layouts. Cool. Oh, there's the super source. Okay, so very interesting that there's a browser folder, but I don't see how to do anything with it yet. So maybe it is just not in here yet, but that's exciting. Version NAB browser. Interesting. Definitely some sort of beta on here. Button brightness. Cool. Okay. So May 15th. That's only a month. So I will yeah, I will keep an eye out for updates on this because that would be really, really interesting if this thing has a browser engine in it. But yeah, in the meantime, SRT is working. That's cool. Here's the Director Mini SRT feed showing up in input 8. Should I see if I can figure out how to get the stinger working? Oh, interesting. There's a function button. I wonder what that does. There's super source. Mix wipe dip preview. I don't see a stinger transition. Oops. Let's see if it's in the menu somewhere. Transition. I don't see it here either. So it could be coming soon because it sure looks like that file is meant to be a stinger. We will have to see. We'll have to see. Well, anyway, there was a fun little sneak peek of the new Duet. Yeah. ISO. Oh. Wonder. I bet this SD card probably can't even handle it because it's like a slow SD card. I will have to test the ISO recording too, so that'll be fun. Oh, I wanted to see if the other NDI camera was showing up on the network. That's what I was waiting for, that camera to boot up. Let's see if input 7 is NDI, and then input 7 is, let's see if we've got the camera. Oh, it's probably looking for my other network. The Stinger was working at NAB. Interesting. Okay. I don't see any options for it. So I wonder how they did that. Definitely, they know something I don't. I will have to get the details from them. I probably have to get my camera back on my studio Wi-Fi instead of my travel Wi-Fi. My phone's on the wrong Wi-Fi too. Well, now I'm officially impressed. I mean, it is a good little, it's a good little box even before we get all of the features working. Just saw the name is Duet 8. I so hope OC doesn't follow Blackmagic's lead and make their product name super long. Okay, almost got the AVKANS back up. Really, I'm going to have to ask them about the slow frame rate preview. Really curious about that. Okay, AVKANS is up. So now, let's see if it's showing up in the NDI list. Oh, I think I have to turn on NDI because it's probably doing RTMP first. NDI settings, there we go. NDI turned on in the app. And there it is. Hey, look at that. NDI is working from the AVKANS camera. That's super cool. So now I have... Is this any good? Oh no! It is not. Not good. I have not actually had the best luck with NDI from this camera. A lot of the different devices have trouble with it, I've noticed. So I bet SRT will work great though. Let's try that instead. Yeah, I've only had some luck with NDI on the AVKANS. So let's go to SRT settings. I don't want to get the SD card out, so I'm going to stop the Director Mini from streaming first and do that instead. Okay, so 8. See if I can remember that URL. Oh, right. The AVKANS doesn't do push SRT. Use NDI HDX on the phone. Oh yeah, we can try it on the phone. Let's do that first. And then we'll go back to SRT. So let's do HX camera. And there's my iPhone. And how is this? Let's get it up into the program. There we go. That one works well. So the glitch was definitely on the AVKANS side, not the GoStream. Yeah, this looks nice and smooth. Now you can see the giant mess in the studio. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. One of these days I'll not have to use my studio for bike parking either. Okay, so NDI is working fine. This is 1080/30 coming from the phone. So let's go back to the SRT. on the AVKANS, but actually I don't know if it's going to work because the AVKANS doesn't do SRT. Maybe this thing can be a collar. That's an interesting idea. I don't know if it can. Let's find out. Can the AVKANS be an SRT collar? I need to find the SRT info on the AVKANS camera. We're going to go to the SD card. Wow, we're really just going for a new record stream today. Hope people are still watching. Hello, SD card. Why are you not reading in that reader? There we go. So let's go, what was that? Upload URL, SRT. I'm going to make a new file here called AVKANS, and then this is going to be the, I'm going to say 10.11.43.138, which is the IP of the camera, port 1025, and now the Go stream is going to call the camera. So we're going to see if that works. So let's get that out of here. And back into the Go stream. And then we're going to change input. We're going to say input 6 is actually SRT. And then input 6 is AVKANS. Is it going to work? Hey, it worked. Look at that. That's cool. So it can be a caller or a listener. So now let's see if this frame rate is any better. If it's not, we can tweak the delay. Okay, so we might need to add some buffering to this. I'm going to go here and change the delay in the phone. I think I have to stop it first. Yeah. To do 500 milliseconds. Let's see if that changes makes it any better. That's better. It's pretty good. So this is, oh, I spoke too soon. Froze. Still getting some buffering on that feed. Well, probably would be better if my camera was hardwired too. That is a bit more of a project. I guess I can. Although it's going to give it a new IP address, then I have to do that whole thing again. I wish I had the desktop app on the Go stream, because it would be a lot faster to change the settings if I had the desktop app. So if I plug this in, it should get an IP address, a wired IP, and we can see if that performs any better. Yeah, now I need to find that IP. USB out. USB setting is PoE adapter. Disconnect, reconnect. We will outlast you. That is probably true. Okay, we still need to get it. Got reconnect to this. And then let's see, I need to get the SD card back into the computer. Thanks, Eric. If you loved live demos like this one, like and subscribe. This is Raw live demo. All right. SRT settings. $43,138. Is that sounds like the same IP as before. Yeah, so what it's not getting the wired address. What is it called? What is that? It's plugged in, right? Oh, it is actually, it requires PoE, and I did not plug it into a PoE port. We got to give it PoE from this side. There it goes. Now I see the little lights blinking. Oh, it definitely is a Wi-Fi problem, because even the preview on the phone app was struggling. How do I get it to get a address now? I forgot if I need to like restart it or something. I might need to restart this camera. Andre says I'm double impressed now. It is an impressive little box. It is for sure. Okay, let's restart the camera. Oh, thanks, Andre. Manufacturers and YouTubers alike need to learn a lot from you. Live demoing takes skill and courage. It's definitely a challenge. Okay, one more time. Let's try to get this thing on the wired network. Gwen says, this stream is making me think NDI versus SRT is sort of like Mac versus PCs. One is easier, one works without much configuration and costs more, while the other is more customizable, efficient, and cheaper. Kinda, yeah. NDI is, well, the trick with NDI is that you do have to, like, you should really not do what I'm doing and throw everything over the Wi-Fi and actually plan your network better. But on the devices, yes, it is less configuration. Okay, I got the camera back. Let's see if it's still showing me the Wi-Fi IP. But let's see. Oh, there we go. Ah, shoot! It's on the wrong network. I've been messing with my network for testing stuff, and it got. What's the best way to do it? I need to go check my VLANs. We're gonna go studio right 8 port. So this thing is on the wrong network. So it's testing stuff. So port 3 is on the right network. So we're gonna have to actually change that to that port. And then I guess we wait until this updates. But, oh, there it goes. Okay, nope, that's the Wi-Fi. There it goes, 45227. That is the wired address. Okay. So here, I can say 45.227, save that file, and go plug it back into the GoStream. And then input 6, we're going to load that. And there we go. So now that's SRT wired. Is it any better? No, it is not. It is still 500 millisecond delay here on the AVKANS. What other options do I have? I do have a bitrate option, but I only have the options of 4, 8, or 6, and it's already on 4. I do have a resolution option, so I could try to drop the resolution and see if that helps. Let's make sure NDI is off. SRT is on. Device information. Okay. It's stable-ish. This camera was working flawlessly with the Director Mini though, so I hope we can get it to work great with the GoStream because it's very handy to be able to do that. This is actually stabilizing now. Maybe it was just like the first connection. Oh, as soon as I said that, froze again. Yeah, this isn't good. Do I need to up the latency more? We can try a full second. So the wireless preview from this is fine and reconnected. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, Technobuzz, thank you for the super chat. For your coffee fund to keep the stream going. Thanks. Man, okay, yeah, we've been going way more than 2 hours now. Oh, and it froze again. Darn. Okay. Not having good luck with that camera's SRT or NDI, which is a bummer. But at least we know that the GoStream handles the iPhone NDI just fine. And I think it handles the Director Mini SRT just fine. We can try that again. Oh, I unplugged it. Right. Might be this beta firmware still needs to handle multiple SRT better. It's true. It is. This is still beta, so we will keep testing later. It's the camera though, because the preview was choppy also. The preview's frozen. Huh. Yeah. Oh well. Okay. We should probably wrap this up. I've been going for a long time, and I'm getting hungry because it's almost lunchtime. Bowls Promo TV says, "Thank you, friend, for your 4-year-old live talk about H2R graphics. I learned a lot." Oh, great! I haven't talked about that in a while, so I'm glad you found it. Yeah, cool. Well, this was fun. I will continue to test out this as we go, and hopefully they get some updates out in the next month for it, and the desktop software as well. But so far, I'm already impressed because this thing can do an awful lot. So that is very cool. Can be a good little box. Yeah, the stream just froze on the AVKANS again. Huh, that's so weird. I guess this is connected over Wi-Fi, so that's probably why. But yeah, the AVKANS was working great for the bike ride stream last weekend, connected to the Director Mini, which I will hopefully will do more of. Speaking of bike rides, this is like way out, but planning for all the bike summer rides is already starting now. So if you are in Portland, bike summer is oh, my little test box is still in there. Bike summer is starting soon in June, which is just around the corner, weirdly. April, May, June. I guess we still have a month. But the but yeah, we're gonna do I'm gonna try to stream the kickoff ride again because that's fun. I'll strap some cameras to the bike. Probably this will be on the front of the handlebars. See what else I can rig up to share the ride as we're going. And then but yeah, so the other thing is Lily is organizing a ride in June, later in June, called the MySpace ride. And the idea is to dress up like your old MySpace photos, and everything's being MySpace themed, just old internet from 20 years ago. So I'm scheming what to do for that. I'm thinking about grabbing one of my actual camcorders from early 2000s and bringing either trying to find an old CRT TV and strap it to a bike trailer, or do this trick of getting an LCD monitor and putting it inside of what looks like an old TV case and then putting a LUT on it to make it look terrible. And then just having like a closed loop, camera showing on the TV for the bike ride, just for fun. Photo booth, definitely gonna do a photo booth with some sort of photo printer for people. So yeah, scheming what we can do for that ride. So if you are in Portland, you should come because it'll be a lot of fun. Use flashing LEDs to simulate the blink tag. Oh my god, a blink tag is a great idea. Bob says, what do you use for a hotspot now? Well, the last one I was using this with a SIM card in it. Unfortunately, that SIM card is on a Mint plan that only has 5 gigs, so I need to solve that problem because my iPhone has a T-Mobile plan, but it's an eSIM, and that has like 10 gigs or 50 gigs or something crazy. So I need to figure that out before we do too many of these more. A keyboard on the bike, like computer keyboard, so I can type in chat. That'd be kind of fun. I do want to figure out a way to be able to do better, like have the chat up and be able to like click things better than I've been able to do while riding before. Oh, piano keyboard. I'm sure somebody will have one of those. Yeah. Matt says, FYI, I ordered a second OBSBot Tail 2. Really, really like them. Oh, cool. I'm really glad. I got an update, unfortunately, that they ran out of them, so I don't have one yet. But as soon as they get their restock, they will be sending one over. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, wow, we're done. I'm starving. I'm really hungry. Okay, we need to we need to wrap this up. But yeah, if you're in Portland, join for a bike ride. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'll hopefully do some more streams of the rides. Until then, I think we're back same time next week. So make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. But otherwise, thanks to the Extreme supporters, Larry, Kevin, and Marcin, and thanks to all the other channel members for your support. As always, if you are a channel member, make sure you click down below to find the members only info, which has a link to the members Discord. And then we chat there throughout the week and share updates and photos and stuff. So whatever I happen to get up to during the week, I usually post and chat about it on the Discord, which is a lot of fun. Never know what happens there. Yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining the streams. We will be back same time, same place next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but I never know what we're going to talk about, and it usually works out fine. We can try out some more stuff here. Maybe I'll update the YoloBox and give that another try. See what we can do there. If you have any ideas, leave them in the chat or the comments below, and see what we can prep ahead of time for next week. Until then, I guess I need to go film the NAB video also, so to get that posted, and I will post the interview mostly unedited. So yeah. All right, with that, thanks everybody, and see you again next week.